Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Are you bloated, constipated, have a headache, your gut's not moving? Well, we're going to dive into it and we're going to help you feel better. If you know me, you know that was the bane of my existence when I first hit my rock bottom. I could not poop. I was bloated. I looked 9 months pregnant. My skin was breaking out. My hair was falling out, all the things, and it was my gut. Welcome to Accelerated Health with Sara Banta, where I cut through the noise and fast track your journey to better health. And I'm your host, CEO and founder of Accelerated Health Products and certified by the National Association of Nutritional Professionals. I'm here to share the latest on supplements, wellness hacks, and natural health solutions that actually work. From boosting energy to detoxing to balancing hormones and everything in between. So I will help you reach your optimal health. Let's dive in. We're talking about probiotics and prebiotics and understanding their role in your gut and where they can go wrong. Your gut is home to trillions of tiny microorganisms that play a huge role in everything, from digestion to your immune system to your brain health. They are essential not only for that gut function, but your overall health, and supporting them with the probiotics and the prebiotics might be what you need, but they also can backfire if you take the wrong ones. I've spent years trying to figure out my gut. So let's talk about them. What are they? They are the dynamic duo, probiotics and prebiotics, okay? Probiotics are live beneficial microorganisms, often called the good bacteria. And when you consume enough of them, they are supposed to take care of the bad ones. Now, we all have viruses, fungus, parasites, and bacteria in our gut, in this nice sandbox. I like to say that they play nice in the sandbox until the good guys go down and the bad guys get to take over. Well, the prebiotics play a role too. They actually feed the right probiotics. And you're getting them from your food. You also can get them from supplements. Your gut microbiome is like this bustling city filled with trillions of microorganisms, like I said, in your digestive tract. And they all play a role. They all need to be there. You don't want to kill all the viruses. You don't want to kill all the fungi. And I've had a horrific candida parasitic infection, but you need some of them in there to play nice, right? So this is where antibiotics kill all the bacteria, the good and the bad, and then you might have another infection because your immune system has gone down. So when things get out of balance, it's called dysbiosis. The harmful bacteria take over, leading to irritable bowel syndrome, inflammatory bowel disease. I had it. I was on the verge of Crohn's disease. I had colitis. And you can take the wrong probiotics and make things worse. So what do? You might be feeling bloated after your meals, brain fog, fatigue. Yes, there's a gut-brain axis. Your brain is directly related to your gut. So you could have a headache from eating a bad meal. That happens a lot. Sugar cravings, weight gain, skin issues, just feeling off all the time could be your gut. Signs that your digestive system is under attack, and the modern lifestyle has completely wrecked our guts. One meal of processed food can cause leaky gut. Most people walking around have leaky gut. I had leaky gut. Even just this last year, when I had that parasitic infection, it wrecked my gut. I eat cleaner than anyone I know. To a T, and it's very boring, frankly. I love my food, but you might think I'm boring. But it's a good example of a leaky gut can come regardless of your diet. No smoking, no drinking, organic food. But the problem is not, our food isn't as clean as we think it is. Even our organic food is getting sprayed a little bit. The wild meats are maybe getting some exposure to glyphosate and some other things. We do go out to dinner. Those restaurants might be cutting that olive oil with canola oil without us knowing. And we have chronic stress. So hands down, I don't care what you're eating. If you're not eating food at all, you could have leaky gut just from your stress. And then we've got the environmental toxins, the air pollution, the fluoride and the chlorine in our water, the organic food at Whole Foods that is being washed with chlorine. And if you're eating chicken, it's being dunked in chlorine. And it's full of amyloid proteins that trigger mold and all of these other things to be flare up in the gut. That is going to cause leaky gut and cause dysbiosis and cause the balance of the good bacteria to get out of whack. So it's this domino effect. So you might be going, I do everything right. I exercise, I eat right, and my gut, I'm always bloated. Or I have this extra layer around my tummy. Why am I gaining fat around my tummy? Sometimes it's not fat. Sometimes it's your lymphatic that is clogged and holding on to water around your belly. It could be fat from chronic stress. That chronic stress is going to cause belly weight. So a lot of these things are connected. The processed food and the sugar. Those processed foods will feed the wrong bacteria, kill off the good ones, damage that intestinal lining. Malabsorption of your nutrition, bloating, constipation, hormonal imbalances, inflammation, brain fog, backing up the liver. The sulfur-rich foods that you think are healthy. I was talking to a lady at the store the other day, and she's like, yeah, I was vegan at one time, and then I tried the carnivore diet. Now I just do paleo. I go, how did you feel when you were vegan? She said, well, I was doing it for my cholesterol, and my cholesterol didn't change, number one, and I felt horrible. And I said, well, yeah, a lot of those vegan healthy vegetables are poison to your body. Sulfur foods like the broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, kale, onions, garlic, egg yolks. Well, they're no longer healthy for most people. Thanks to glyphosate and overloading the detox pathways, the sulfur-containing foods cause this bloat, indigestion, leaky gut, backed up liver, brain fog. Oxalates in healthy foods, spinach, almonds, berries, kale, create those symptoms, which could be hypothyroid, brain fog, gut issues. If your thyroid's not working, you might be constipated, bloated, because everything's moving slow, including your metabolism and your gut. And it causes leaky gut. Amyloid proteins in that dirty chicken, the dirty bird. So unlike the quality amino acids that you get from wild animal protein, like the bison and the elk and the venison, by the way, super easy to get online. Google your some sources, ranches around the country, no more expensive than the other. But these chicken, pork, turkey, grain-fed beef have amyloid proteins that your body can't even break down to use for your muscles and your brain and your hair, but cause dysbiosis and feed the pathogens in the gut like E. coli and salmonella, and contribute to the bacteria overgrowth and inflammation. Then you have mold in food, lead to oxalate formation, disrupts the immune function. Mold is in mushrooms. That mushroom coffee that you think's good could have mold. A lot of mold in supplements because people are not taking account for mold and bacteria in their healthy supplements. So beware, buyer beware. And that mold can disrupt the gut. The toxic fats, seed oils like canola, soybean, corn oil, highly inflammatory, damage the cell membranes, increase oxidative stress, contribute to that liver congestion. That's why I always say, gotta love your liver. And that's where the accelerated liver care comes in on just a daily basis. Just pop the 3 pills. You can take more, but at the minimum, 3 caps a day. And that will help your liver keep it running and keep those detox pathways open. You've got the chemical toxins, the GMOs, glyphosate, dioxins, other residues in food and water. Do you know that there are thousands of toxins allowed in the US that are illegal in Europe? Hello, people. There's a reason. There's a reason you go to Europe and you can eat foods that you can't eat here. Then we've got the radiation and the EMFs. We're not going to let go of these phones. I'm not either. But we are getting disrupted. They can cause leaky gut. They can cause sugar to go up in your blood, insulin resistance just by holding your phone, being in front of your computer, cause brain fog, vision issues. Your vision is directly related to your liver. That radiation and EMF causes liver issues, causes the gut issues. Heavy metals. We're getting lead in our organic chocolate whey protein powder. So even you're trying to be healthy, these heavy metals are disrupting our gut. Mercury, lead, aluminum, they disrupt the gut-brain axis and the digestive enzymes. Then we have that spike protein from the pandemic. We are all at a disadvantage compared to our 2020 self. And that's unfortunate. But it impairs the liver, the gut function, throws off insulin regulation, contributes to the hormonal disruption, fluid retention, brain issues, chronic inflammation. And then, like I mentioned, chronic stress, that is a killer for the gut. And then you've got the infections, H. pylori, which is the number one cause for the increase in colon cancer. I know you know someone with colon cancer. It was not talked about before. It is skyrocketing. And I believe it's because of the processed food and all these toxins that are just threatening our gut. It is an issue. And then you've got parasites and viruses that wreak havoc on the gut. I used to get E. coli from every single meal with chicken in it. I haven't had chicken in years. I would rather eat a gluten-full vegan meal than have a piece of chicken. It's not worth it for me. Medications, any medication is seen by the gut and the liver as a poison, right? It strips the gut of the good bacteria, damages the lining. So that's where probiotics and prebiotics come in, because they make the gut more resilient and they rebuild it. And the whole goal is to make our gut more resilient because these toxins are here to stay. Probiotics, they're live microorganisms, and when you consume the right amount, they are good. But consuming too much of one kind can overpopulate and not give you what you need. That's where a lot of probiotics fail. And the benefits of probiotics are very specific to each strain. So you might be taking one for another cause, not what you need. Okay, so then you've got the prebiotics. They're non-digestible fibers that serve as food for the good bacteria already living in the gut. So they don't add new live microbes. They help the existing ones get stronger. So when you combine them, they form symbiotics, products designed to deliver live beneficial bacteria along with the food they need to thrive. So let's look at this a little deeper. They will influence not only your digestion, but your metabolism, your immune responses, and even your brain health through that gut-brain axis. So remember, probiotics are the good bacteria down there. The prebiotics are what feed them. Now, food sources, probiotics, you can get them from fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, kombucha. Oh my gosh. Sauerkraut. I used to eat sauerkraut by the spoonfuls. I loved my kombucha. But then I realized that those are high histamine. And I was wondering, why am I so bloated when I have my favorite kombucha? Why am I bloated when I have yogurt? If you are sensitive, these can actually populate your gut with the wrong bacteria, and the high histamine count from the fermentation process could cause a histamine reaction. And since 2020 and COVID, we are all more sensitive to histamine. I never had an issue, and now I do. Headaches, flushing, digestive upset, those are signs. And so you want to be very careful with these foods. And then you've got the prebiotic foods. So they are chicory root, right? It has the highest content of the inulin, followed by Jerusalem artichokes, dandelion greens. Well, dandelion greens are full of oxalates. So this is where you have to be careful. These fibers resist digestion in your small intestine and reach your colon and feed the beneficial bacteria. Then you've got the vegetables like garlic, onions, leeks, asparagus. They are great too, but garlics and onions are sulfur. So they could backfire and trip up the detox pathways in some people. This is where you need to take account of how you feel every time you eat. You might be fine with it one day. 3 months later, when your immune system is suppressed, you're really stressed out, you can't handle it. So it's not that you have to abstain from these foods forever. It's that you need to take account of how resilient is your gut, how is your health, how is your immune system, how is your stress level, and maybe I can handle these foods, right? When I was going through my liver being taxed, my parasite infection, spike protein, all of these things at once, my diet was very strict. Today, I can eat a lot more foods, a lot of the foods we're talking about. So resistant starch is another form of prebiotic, like green bananas, cooked and cooled potatoes. Who's going to eat that? Oats and legumes, but those are full of lectins and mold and can have some other issues. You know, honestly, cooking and cooling potatoes and rice with nothing on them, it doesn't sound appealing to me. But fiber-rich fruits like apples, which have pectins, and I love my apples, citrus fruits, they can help with the prebiotic as well. So that is helpful to know what the foods are. It is important to have fiber in your diet. You know, a carnivore diet, I believe, can be helpful as an elimination diet temporarily. I couldn't do it full time, and I think your gut does need the fiber. So this is where you want to look at possibly taking some supplements, because you're not going to get the right probiotics from a food. And like I said, you could be populating your gut with too much of the wrong thing, or causing a histamine reaction, or having the sulfur, the oxalate, or the mold. But you want to have a good, healthy gut because it helps with the LDL cholesterol. It helps with the vaginal microbiome. It helps with anxiety and depression and your brain. So there's a lot. And your 70% of your immune system is in the gut. So if you have inflammatory bowel disease, not only is your gut going to be uncomfortable every time you eat, but it's going to affect your brain and your immune system and all of these other things. And I go into this in detail on the website at SaraBantaHealth.com. So these are very important. And this is where I use supplements. And I've put together the Accelerated Leaky Gut Bundle to not only help with feeding the right probiotics, the right prebiotics, but also sealing the gut, sealing that leaky gut. Okay, so number one is the Megaspore. This is different than any probiotic because it has a brain. It's intelligent. It is a spore biotic. It does not get destroyed by the stomach acid, which most probiotics do. And most probiotics are not even live when they get to the stomach or get to where they need to go. But they're designed, these spore-based strains are designed to survive the harsh stomach environment and get to where they need to go, and then look around and go, you need more of this, more of that, and none of this. And by the way, that population that I'm going to work on is different than Joe or Kathy because it's individualized. It's 100% survivable. It is clinically shown to boost the microbial diversity in 30 days, and it reduces inflammation, markers of leaky gut, doesn't trigger histamine overproduction, and it supports that immune modulation and gut resilience. The goal is to be resilient. So think of it as reseeding your gut with smart and tough strains that outcompete the harmful microbes. Okay, so they are not going to cause the bloating, gas, or feeding that small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. Then you've got the Mega Pre. This is your prebiotic designed to feed the probiotics or the bacteria from Megaspore. And this is going to give you the key strains like Akkermansia. And this is where that good key bacteria is important without feeding the bugs. So it feeds the good bacteria without feeding the bad guys, right? So it is using clinically tested oligosaccharides from non-GMO sources, calms the gut inflammation without the excess fermentation, boosts the production of the short chain fatty acids like butyrate, which is needed as well. Then you've got the mega mucosa. And by the way, mega pre and mega mucosa taste amazing, right? Super important. I love putting the mega mucosa and mega pre in my drinks all day long, just a little bit. I feel like it's doing its job all day long throughout the day with all of my meals. You can take it on an empty stomach, on a full stomach, or with food. And you can take the mega spore with your food. That's what you want to do. So mega mucosa is healing that leaky gut. And the most gut protocols skip the repairing of this gut lining. Remember, most of you have leaky gut, even if you're doing all the right things. It supplies the amino acids needed for the mucosal repair. Now, you've got the megaspore, reseeds and reshapes your gut microbiome. The mega pre fuels those beneficial microbes from the megaspore, and then the mega mucosa repairs and strengthens the lining. So those three are amazing. I do them every day. And you don't want to skip the tributyrin X or butyrate. So butyrate, you've probably heard of it, short chain fatty acids, right? Well, they're important for fueling the colon cells that line your gut, tighten the gut barrier, and prevents the leaks, calms the gut inflammation, promotes that diverse resilient. These are essentially postbiotics. We talked about prebiotics, probiotics. These are postbiotics. And a lot of people are missing them in their diet now, and you need to supplement with them. Most people also will correct that constipation diarrhea balance with the tributyrin X. This is the one that I recommend. It uses 99.9% pure tributyrin in a patented soft gel that survives stomach acid and releases in the gut. You can listen to my podcast with Stephen Wright. He talks about the difference between tributyrin X and other postbiotics or butyrate. And that's why I carry this one. So supports the tight junctions, normalizes your bowel movement, reduces the bloating, food sensitivity, histamine reactions. And, if you also are having that gut inflammation that you can't get over, and you're constantly taking in the diet of the toxins from our water, our air, and our food, even though you're doing all the right things, you got to use the accelerated cellular detox powder. This is the gut hero. I take this with me on every trip. I take it every single night right before bed. I mix it with my magnesium breakthrough tart cherry magnesium. Tastes delicious, but the combination puts me to sleep. But what it does, it is that unsung hero of the gut protocol, because it's reducing inflammation. It helps with the gut motility. It helps with soaking up all the toxins that you're kicking out. It helps with the toxins you're kicking out from the accelerated iodine and the accelerated liver care and all of the other supplements that you might be taking that are detoxing your body. You don't want those detox flu symptoms. That's where the accelerated cellular detox powder comes in. It has slippery elm, triphala, chitosan. Chitosan binds and removes fat-soluble toxins like mold, pesticides, and plastics, but also excess cholesterol and excess dietary fat. Has activated charcoal as well. Great to take before and after a meal out that you don't know what they're putting in your food, right? Diatomaceous earth scrubs the biofilms and the parasites while boosting the silica for tissue repair. Micronized zeolite, which helps trap those heavy metals, radiation, and ammonia. So this is my stack for my gut, right? You've got the accelerated leaky gut bundle, the tributyrin X, and the accelerated cellular detox powder. That is what I use for my gut on a daily basis. Our guts are hit on a daily basis. They're under attack, just like our liver, just like our thyroid. That's why I talk about these all the time. So hopefully this was helpful to you. If you have questions, you always can reach out. Submit your supplement protocol form on the website at SaraBantaHealth.com. Join the free group coaching on Telegram. There is no downside. Ask your questions there. It's free and I post on a daily basis, so you continue to learn to take control of your health back. You can also use coupon podcast 10 at acceleratedhealthproducts.com for the supplements that we talked about. And if you got triggered by this podcast, send it to a friend. Everybody's having gut issues, right? And by doing so, not only are you going to help them, but you're going to help this podcast reach more people like you. Listen anywhere by searching Accelerated Health with Sara Banta on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, E360, iHeartRadio, and over 100 different platforms. And remember, I'm live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So join me next time for more ways to unlock your health potential.